Chosen ones, God has sent wealth your way through someone, and you need to hear this now. A divine connection is unfolding, a person carrying the resources you've been praying for, handpicked by God to cross your path. This isn't random, it's a moment written in the stars, a shift in your story where lack turns to overflow. Your life is about to change, not by chance, but by God's perfect design. Picture a river, steady and strong, flowing toward you with everything you need. That's what God's provision looks like. He doesn't just drop blessings in your lap. He sends people, messengers of His promise, to deliver what's yours. Maybe it's a stranger with an opportunity, a friend with a connection, or someone you've yet to meet. Whoever they are, they're coming, and they're bringing wealth that's not just money but purpose, freedom, and joy. Your job isn't to chase it. Your job is to be ready. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet nudge in your spirit, telling you something big is on the way. That's God speaking. He's been preparing you through every trial, every closed door, every moment you thought you'd never make it. Those struggles weren't meant to break you. They were meant to shape you into someone who can carry the weight of this blessing. You're not ordinary. You're chosen. And right now, God is aligning the right person to step into your life with a gift that will shift everything. If this is resonating, if your heart is saying, "This is for me," pause right now and type 777 inches the comments. That number carries the energy of divine alignment, a signal to the universe that you're open to what God is sending. And while you're there, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones standing in faith. Your action amplifies this message, calling in the blessings meant for you. Let's talk about what this wealth really means. It's not just a bank account swelling or a sudden windfall, though those can happen. God's wealth is deeper. It's the kind that fills your home with peace, your heart with purpose, and your life with opportunities you never imagined. This person coming your way isn't just bringing resources. They're bringing a key to unlock doors you thought were sealed shut. Maybe it's a mentor offering wisdom, a partner with a vision that matches yours, or even someone whose kindness opens a path you couldn't see before. Think of Joseph in the Bible, sold into slavery, locked in a prison, forgotten by the world. But God sent a cupbearer, a single connection, who spoke his name in Pharaoh's court. That one person changed Joseph's life, lifting him from a cell to a palace. Your story might feel heavy right now, but God is setting up a divine encounter just like that. Someone is coming, and they're carrying the breakthrough you've been waiting for. You might wonder, why you? Why now? Because you've been faithful. You've prayed through the dark nights, trusted when the path was blurry, and held on when everything screamed, "Give up." God sees that. He's not distant, watching from a throne in the clouds. He's right here, orchestrating every detail. The wealth coming isn't a reward you earned, it's a promise He's fulfilling. You're His chosen, and His promises don't fail. Type 777 inches the comments if you feel this truth sinking in. Let the heavens know you're ready for what's coming. This isn't about hype or empty hope. It's about standing in the certainty that God's plan is moving in your favor right now. Let's get real for a moment. The world can feel like a maze of bills, setbacks, and closed doors. You've faced moments where you wondered if God forgot you. But every time you thought you were stuck, didn't He make a way? Maybe it was a job that came through, a friend who showed up, or a spark of strength you didn't know you had. That was God, training you to trust His timing. Now, He's sending someone to carry His provision straight to you. This person might not look like you expect. They might not come with a halo or a grand announcement, God works in subtle ways: a conversation, a chance meeting, a name dropped at the right time. Think of Ruth, gleaning in the fields, unaware that Boaz, the man who would change her life, was watching. She didn't chase him. She was faithful, and God placed her exactly where she needed to be. That's what's happening for you. Stay open, stay faithful. The person God's sending is already on their way. Your past doesn't disqualify you. Every mistake, every stumble, every tear you've shed, it's all part of the story God's weaving. Those scars are proof you're a survivor, chosen to carry something greater. The wealth coming through this person isn't just for you to hold. It's for you to share, to build, to create a legacy that echoes beyond your lifetime. God's not giving you just enough, He's giving you overflow. If your spirit is stirring, type 777 inches the comments. Claim this moment. Let the universe know you're standing in faith, ready for the divine connection God's prepared. And don't forget to like and subscribe to walk this path with other chosen ones. Your support keeps this message alive, reaching hearts that need it. Now, let's talk about preparation. God's not sending this person so you can sit back and do nothing. He's calling you to align your heart, your mind, your actions. Start by clearing the clutter, doubt, fear, the weight of old failures. Those don't belong in the season you're entering. When this person arrives, you need to be ready to receive, to act, to step through the door they're opening. Imagine a farmer waiting for rain. He doesn't just sit and stare at the sky. He prepares the soil, plants the seeds, clears the weeds. That's you right now. Forgive those who've hurt you. Let go of grudges that chain you to the past. Speak life over your dreams, even if they feel impossible. God's sending someone, but your heart has to be open to recognize them. Your faith has to be strong enough to say, yes, I'm ready. The wealth God's sending isn't just about money. It's about influence, connections, and purpose. Maybe this person offers a job that shifts your career. Maybe they introduce you to someone who changes your perspective. Or maybe they simply see the light in you and help you shine brighter. Whatever form it takes, it's God's hand at work, moving through someone to bring His promise to life. Type 777 one last time in the comments if you're ready to step into this new season. Let it be your declaration that you trust God's plan, that you're prepared for the wealth He's sending through someone. Your faith is the key that unlocks this door. Now, let's talk about what happens when this person arrives. It might feel like a spark, a moment where everything clicks. You'll know it's not coincidence. It's God. Maybe they offer you a chance to start something new, a project, a partnership, a dream you've buried. Or maybe their presence alone reminds you who you're meant to be. This isn't about them saving you. It's about God using them to awaken what's already inside you. Look at David and Jonathan in the Bible. Jonathan didn't just support David. He saw the king in him when others saw a shepherd. Their friendship wasn't random, it was God's way of preparing David for the throne. The person coming into your life is like that. They're not here by accident. They're sent to confirm what God's been whispering to you. You're destined for more. Don't let fear hold you back when they show up. The enemy will try to whisper doubts. You're not ready. This isn't for you. It's too good to be true. But those lies can't stand against God's truth. You are ready. This is for you, and it's exactly what God promised. Step forward with boldness. Say yes to the opportunity. Trust that God's hand is guiding every moment. Your life is a canvas, and God's painting a masterpiece. Every struggle, every prayer, every step of faith has led to this. The person He's sending is a brushstroke in His design, bringing color to places that felt gray. This wealth, whether it's money, wisdom, or purpose, isn't just for you. It's for your family, your community, the lives you'll touch when you step into your calling. Sometimes, the greatest blessings come disguised as challenges. This person might push you, stretch you, ask you to step out of your comfort zone. Don't shy away. God's not sending them to make you comfortable. He's sending them to make you unstoppable. Think of Moses and Jethro, his father-in-law. Jethro's advice didn't just help Moses lead. It transformed him into a leader who could carry a nation. The person coming for you is carrying wisdom, resources, or vision that will do the same. You might feel like you're not enough, too broken, too tired, too far behind. But God doesn't see you that way. He sees the chosen one, forged in fire, ready to carry his glory. The wealth coming through this person isn't about fixing you. It's about revealing who you've always been. You're not starting from scratch. You're stepping into a story God's been writing since before you were born. Let's shift gears. What does it look like to walk in this wealth? It's not about flashy cars or endless luxury, though God can provide those if it's His will. It's about freedom. Freedom to live without fear, to give without holding back, to dream without limits. When this person arrives, they're not just bringing a gift. They're opening a door to a life where you can breathe easier, love deeper, and serve greater. Imagine waking up each day knowing your needs are met, not because you scrambled, but because God provided. That's the life He's calling you to. This person might bring a business idea, a financial breakthrough, or a connection that sets you on a new path. But more than that, they're bringing confirmation that God's promises are real. Your faith, your prayers, your tears, they weren't in vain. The world might tell you wealth is about hustling, grinding, clawing your way to the top. But God's way is different. His wealth flows through trust, through faith, through alignment with His will. The person He's sending is proof of that. They're not here because you forced it. They're here because God ordained it. Your job is to stay faithful, to keep your eyes open, to trust the timing. You're not alone in this. Thousands of chosen ones are walking this path, standing in faith, waiting for their divine connection. Hit that like button and subscribe to join them, to be part of a community that believes in God's promises. Your support strengthens this message, carrying it to others who need to hear it. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. This wealth isn't just for you to keep, it's for you to multiply. God's blessings are like seeds. When you plant them, they grow. The person coming into your life isn't just handing you a gift, they're handing you a responsibility. Use this wealth to lift others, to build something lasting, to show the world what God's love looks like in action. Think of Esther. A king's favor brought her wealth and influence, but she didn't stop there. She used it to save her people, to change history. The person God's sending you is your Boaz, your Jonathan, your Jethro, a divine connection to move you into your purpose. But that purpose isn't just about you. It's about the lives you'll touch, the legacy you'll leave, the glory you'll give back to God. You might be thinking, what if I miss it? What if I don't recognize this person? Don't worry. God's plan doesn't hinge on your perfection. He's guiding you, nudging you, speaking to your spirit. That feeling in your gut, that spark of hope. When you hear this, it's Him. Trust it. Stay open. The person He's sending will show up at the right time, in the right way. Your life is about to shift, not because you're forcing it, but because God's moving. The wealth He's sending through someone isn't just a moment. It's a movement. It's the start of a new chapter, where lack becomes abundance, fear becomes faith, and dreams become reality. You're not waiting for a miracle. The miracle is already on its way. Let's talk about what's holding you back. Maybe it's doubt, whispering that you're not worthy. Maybe it's the past, chaining you to old mistakes. Or maybe it's fear, telling you this is too big. But hear this: God chose you, not because you're perfect, but because you're His. The person He's sending isn't looking for someone flawless. They're looking for someone faithful. And that's you. Every step you've taken, every prayer you've whispered, every tear you've shed, it's led to this. God's been shaping you, refining you, preparing you for this moment. The wealth coming through this person isn't random, it's the fruit of your faith. You've sowed in tears, now you're about to reap in joy. Psalm 126:5 says, "Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy." That's your promise. Hold on to it. When this person arrives, it might not feel like a movie scene. It might be a quiet moment, a conversation, an email, a handshake. But you'll know, your spirit will recognize it. God's been speaking to you all along, and He'll confirm it when the time comes. Trust that still, small voice. It's led you this far, and it won't fail you now. You're standing at a crossroads. Behind you is the old life struggle, doubt, just getting by. Ahead is the life God's promised: abundance, purpose, freedom. The person He's sending is the bridge between the two. They're not your savior, God is, but they're His instrument, carrying the wealth He's ordained for you. Step forward, say yes, trust Him. Let's shift to what this wealth will do. It's not just about paying bills or buying things, though God can provide for that. It's about impact. Imagine funding a dream, a business, a ministry, a cause that changes lives. Imagine giving generously, not out of obligation, but out of overflow. That's the life God's calling you to, a life where wealth becomes a tool for His glory. Think of the woman who anointed Jesus with expensive perfume. The world called it waste. Jesus called it worship. The wealth coming through this person is your perfume, your offering. It's not about hoarding, it's about pouring out. When you do, God multiplies it. Malachi 3:10 says, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven." That's the promise you're stepping into. You might feel small right now, like a seed buried in the dirt. But seeds don't stay buried. They break through, they grow, they bear fruit. The person God's sending is the rain, the sunlight, the nourishment for your growth. They're not here to make you dependent, they're here to help you flourish. Trust that God's timing is perfect, that His plan is unfolding. Your story is bigger than you. It's not just about your bank account or your comfort. It's about the lives you'll touch, the chains you'll break, the hope you'll spread. The person coming is a spark, but you're the fire. God's wealth flows through you to light up the world. You're not just receiving a blessing, you're becoming one. Now, let's talk about the waiting. You might be thinking, when, God? When will this person show up? Waiting isn't easy. It tests your faith, your patience, your trust. But every moment you wait, God's working. He's aligning people, places, opportunities. Isaiah 60:22 says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." Your job isn't to force the door open. It's to stand ready when it swings wide. While you wait, prepare. Pray for discernment to recognize this person. Clear your heart of bitterness or fear. Speak life over your future. The wealth God's sending isn't just for you to consume. It's for you to steward. Start acting like the person who's ready for overflow. Make room for it. Believe it's coming. You might be tempted to doubt, to think this is too good to be true. But God's promises aren't fairy tales. They're real. Look at Abraham, promised a son in his old age. The world laughed, but God delivered. The person coming into your life is your Isaac, your promise fulfilled. Don't let doubt steal what God's already spoken. Your faith is the key. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." You don't see this person yet, but you feel them. You don't see the wealth yet, but you know it's coming. That's faith, and it's what moves God's hand. Keep believing, keep trusting, keep standing. Let's talk about the impact of this moment. When this person arrives, it's not just about you getting what you need. It's about you becoming who you're meant to be. The wealth they bring, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, is a tool to build God's kingdom. You're not just receiving, you're being positioned to give, to create, to transform. Think of Nehemiah, a cupbearer, not a king, yet God sent him to rebuild Jerusalem's walls. He didn't do it alone. God brought people, resources, favor. The person coming into your life is part of your rebuilding. They're carrying what you need to restore what's been broken, to build what's been dreamed, to step into what's been promised. This isn't about chasing wealth for wealth's sake. It's about purpose. God's wealth equips you to do what you were born to do. Maybe it's starting a business that employs others. Maybe it's supporting a cause that changes lives. Maybe it's simply being a light in a dark world. Whatever it is, the person God's sending is the spark that sets it in motion. You're not just waiting for a blessing, you're stepping into a legacy. The wealth coming through this person is a seed for generations. It's not about what you can get, it's about what you can give. Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." That's the kind of wealth God's sending, a legacy of faith, impact, and abundance. Now, let's talk about the shift in your identity. When this person arrives, they're not just bringing wealth, they're confirming who you are. You're not the person who struggles to get by. You're not the one defined by lack or loss. You're the chosen one, handpicked by God for a purpose bigger than yourself. This moment is your coronation. You're stepping into the role you were born for. Look at Gideon. He saw himself as the least, the weakest. But God saw a mighty warrior. An angel showed up, not with wealth, but with a word that changed Gideon's life. The person coming for you is like that angel, carrying a message, a resource, a confirmation that you're more than you thought. They're not here to define you. They're here to reveal you. Don't shrink back when they arrive. The enemy will try to make you feel small, unworthy, unprepared. But God's already prepared you. Every trial, every prayer, every moment of faith has built you for this. You're not stepping into wealth, you're stepping into your calling. The person God's sending is just the messenger. The real gift is who you're becoming. Your life is about to tell a story, not of struggle, but of triumph, not of lack, but of overflow, not of waiting, but of arriving. The person God's sending is the next chapter, the moment where the page turns and the world sees what He's been doing in you all along. Get ready, it's coming. Let's talk about the ground you're standing on right now. It might feel shaky, uncertain, like the world's pressing in from all sides. But hear this, the ground beneath you is holy. Every step you've taken, every moment you've held fast, has consecrated this place as the stage for God's promise. The person He's sending, the one carrying your wealth, isn't just walking toward you, they're walking onto sacred soil, where your faith has prepared the way for miracles. This isn't about luck or coincidence, it's about divine appointment. The person God's chosen is already moving through the world, guided by His hand, drawn to you, like a magnet to steal. You don't need to search for them. You don't need to force the moment. Your faith, your prayers, your trust, they've created a signal, a beacon that's pulling this person closer. They're coming with resources, opportunities, maybe even a word that shifts your perspective forever. Picture a lighthouse in a storm. The waves crash, the winds howl, but the light stands firm, guiding ships to safety. That's you right now. Your faith is the light, cutting through the chaos of the world, signaling to the one God sent. They might be a business partner with a vision that aligns with yours, a stranger with a gift you didn't expect, or a friend who suddenly sees your potential. Whoever they are, their arrival is God's promise breaking through the storm. You've been through seasons where it felt like nothing was moving. Days, maybe years, where you wondered if God was listening. But every silent moment was a setup. God wasn't ignoring you. He was building you. Like a house rising brick by brick, your faith has been the foundation, your trials, the walls, your prayers, the roof. Now, the person He's sending is the key to the door, opening a home where abundance lives. Let's shift to the brother vision God's planting in you. This wealth isn't just about what you'll receive, it's about what you'll see. The person coming into your life is carrying more than resources. They're carrying clarity. Maybe they'll speak a truth that unlocks a dream you've buried. Maybe their presence will show you a path you couldn't see before. This isn't just about money. It's about vision, about seeing yourself as God sees you, a vessel for His glory, a steward of His promise. Think of Elisha and the widow in 2 Kings 4. She was drowning in debt, her sons facing slavery. But Elisha didn't bring her gold. He brought a word. He told her to gather jars, to pour out the little oil she had, and God multiplied it. The person God's sending you is like Elisha, carrying a word, an idea, a spark that turns your little into much. Your job is to trust, to pour, to believe that God can multiply what's in your hands. You might be wondering how you'll know this person when they arrive. Will there be a sign, a feeling? The truth is, God's already speaking to you. That quiet certainty in your heart, that sense that something's shifting, it's Him. The person He's sending won't need a neon sign. Your spirit will recognize them like a key fitting a lock. Trust that. God's been guiding you this far. He won't leave you guessing now. Let's talk about the chains that try to hold you back. The enemy loves to whisper lies about your worth, your past, your ability to carry this wealth. But those lies are dust in the wind. You're not defined by what you've done or what's been done to you. You're defined by God's word, and His word says you're chosen, worthy, destined for abundance. The person coming is proof that those lies have no power. Imagine a prisoner, locked away for years, suddenly handed the key to their cell. That's what this moment is. The person God's sending is carrying that key not to free you from a physical prison, but from the chains of doubt, fear, and lack. When they arrive, they'll unlock something in you, a confidence, a courage, a clarity you didn't know you had. This isn't about them saving you. It's about God using them to remind you who you are. Your life is a tapestry, woven with threads of pain, hope, and faith. Every tear, every prayer, every moment you chose to trust God, it's a thread in His design. The person He's sending is the next thread, adding color, strength, and beauty to the picture. They're not the whole tapestry, but they're a vital part, bringing the wealth that makes the pattern clear. You're not just receiving a gift, you're becoming a masterpiece. Now, let's talk about the ripple effect. The wealth this person brings isn't just for you. It's for the people around you, your family, your friends, the stranger you'll help one day. God's blessings don't stop with you. They flow through you. Like a river carving a path through stone, this wealth will carve paths of hope, healing, and opportunity for others. The person God's sending is the start of that flow. Think of Barnabas in the Bible. He sold his land and gave the money to the early church, not to hoard wealth, but to share it. His gift didn't just feed people, it built a movement. The person coming into your life is like Barnabas, bringing resources that don't just change your life, they change the world around you. You're not just receiving wealth, you're becoming a channel for it. You might feel like you're not ready for this, like the weight of this blessing is too much. But God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. You're chosen, not because you have it all together, but because God trusts you. The person He's sending isn't looking for perfection, they're looking for faith, and you've got that in spades. Every step you've taken, every prayer you've prayed, it's proof you're ready. Let's shift to the timing of this moment. God's clock doesn't tick like ours. The world says, hurry, rush, make it happen. But God says, wait, trust, believe. The person He's sending is moving in His perfect time, not yours. Maybe you've been waiting for months, years, feeling like the promise is delayed. But every delay is a setup, every pause, a preparation. When this person arrives, you'll see why God made you wait. It's because He was making it perfect. Look at Lazarus, dead for 4 days, buried, gone. The world said it was too late, but Jesus showed up, and Lazarus walked out of the tomb. The person God's sending is your Jesus moment, not to raise you from the dead, but to raise your dreams, your hopes, your purpose. The wealth they bring is the breath of life for what you thought was lost. Trust God's timing. It's never late. You're not just waiting for a person, you're waiting for a revelation. The wealth they bring is more than money or opportunity. It's a confirmation of who you are. Every struggle you've faced, every doubt you've fought, every prayer you've whispered, it's led to this. The person God's sending is His way of saying, I see you, I hear you, I'm with you. Their arrival is your proof that God keeps His word. Let's talk about the courage it takes to receive this. When this person shows up, it might feel overwhelming. A new opportunity, a new connection, a new path, it can be daunting. But courage isn't the absence of fear, it's trusting God through it. The person He's sending isn't here to intimidate you. They're here to ignite you. Step into their presence with boldness. Say yes to what they bring. God's got you. You might be thinking about the people who've let you down before. The ones who promised help but didn't deliver. Who offered hope then walked away. This isn't that. The person God's sending is different. They're not operating on human whims. They're moving under divine direction. Their arrival isn't a gamble, it's a guarantee. God's signature is on this moment, and He doesn't break His promises. Your life is about to become a testimony, not just of wealth, but of faith. The person God's sending is a chapter in your story, a moment where the world sees what happens when you trust Him. Think of Daniel in the lion's den. God didn't just save him, He used him to show a king who the real king is. The wealth coming through this person is your lion's den moment, a chance to show the world God's power. Now, let's talk about the legacy you're building. This wealth isn't a one-time gift, it's a seed for generations. The person God's sending isn't just bringing resources for today, they're bringing tools for tomorrow. What you do with this wealth will echo beyond your lifetime. It's not about what you can buy, it's about what you can build. A family lifted out of struggle, a community transformed by your giving, a world touched by your faith. You're not just receiving a blessing, you're becoming a blessing. The person God's sending is the spark, but you're the flame. Their gift, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, is fuel for the fire God's lit in you. Don't hold back. Don't play small. The world needs your light, your strength, your purpose. The person coming is God's way of saying, it's time to shine. Let's shift to the transformation this wealth brings. It's not just about your circumstances changing, it's about you changing. The person God's sending will challenge you to grow, to think bigger, to step into a version of yourself you haven't fully met. They're not here to make life easy. They're here to make you unstoppable. Embrace that. Lean into the growth. God's preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. Think of Peter, a fisherman with a simple life. Jesus walked into his world and didn't just give him fish. He gave him a calling. The person God's sending is your Jesus moment, not to make you comfortable, but to make you a cornerstone. The wealth they bring is the foundation for a life that changes everything. You're not just getting a gift, you're becoming a gift to the world. You might feel the weight of this moment, the anticipation, the hope, the fear of missing it. But let that weight go. God's not playing hide and seek. The person he's sending will find you. Your job is to stay faithful, to keep praying, to keep trusting. Psalm 37:4 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." That's not a maybe, it's a promise. The person coming is proof. Your story is unfolding, and it's breathtaking. Every chapter, every pain, every victory, every prayer has led to this. The person God's sending is the next page, the moment where the plot thickens and the world sees what he's been doing. Don't rush it, don't doubt it, just trust it. The wealth they bring is more than money. It's the confirmation that God's been with you all along. Let's talk about the faith it takes to walk this out. Faith isn't just believing, it's acting like you believe. When this person arrives, they might ask you to take a step you've never taken, a risk, a decision, a leap. Don't shrink back. God's not sending them to trick you. He's sending them to train you. Like Abraham leaving his home for a land he didn't know, you're being called to trust the journey. The wealth coming through this person is a tool, not a trophy. It's not for you to hold up and say, "Look at me." It's for you to hold out and say, "Look at God." Use it to build, to give, to love. The person God's sending isn't just bringing resources, they're bringing responsibility. You're not just a recipient, you're a steward. God trusts you with this, and that's no small thing. You might be wondering what this wealth will look like. Will it be a check, a job, a connection? It could be any of those, or all of them. But more than that, it's peace, it's purpose, it's the freedom to live without fear, to give without holding back, to dream without limits. The person God's sending is carrying a piece of that puzzle, fitting perfectly into the picture he's painting. Your life is a symphony, and God's the composer. Every note, every high, every low has led to this crescendo. The person he's sending is the next movement, the moment where the music swells and the world hears the melody of his promise. You're not just waiting for wealth, you're waiting for the song God's been writing in you to be sung. Get ready. It's about to play. Let's talk about the fire in your bones. You've felt it, that restless energy, that quiet burn deep inside that says you're meant for more. It's not just a feeling, it's God's voice, calling you to a purpose bigger than the life you're living now. The person he's sending, the one carrying your wealth, isn't just bringing resources. They're fanning that flame, turning it into a blaze that lights up your path and the world around you. This fire isn't new. It's been there through every storm, every setback, every moment you refused to give up. It's what kept you praying when hope was thin, trusting when the way was dark. The person God's sending sees that fire. They're drawn to it, not by chance, but by divine design. Their arrival isn't just about what they bring, it's about what they ignite in you, pushing you to step fully into the calling you've always felt. Imagine a spark landing on dry wood. That's what's happening now. Your faith, your resilience, your trust, they're the kindling. The person God's sending is the spark, and the wealth they bring is the fuel. It could be a financial breakthrough, a new connection, or a word that shifts your perspective. Whatever it is, it's designed to set your purpose ablaze, to make you unstoppable in what God's called you to do. You might be thinking about the times you've felt that fire flicker, moments of doubt, fear, or exhaustion. But even in those moments, it never went out. God's been tending it, guarding it, waiting for the right time to let it roar. The person coming is part of that timing. They're not here to start the fire. They're here to help it spread, to turn your quiet strength into a force that changes everything. Let's shift to the map of your journey. Life can feel like a winding road, full of detours and dead ends. But every step you've taken has been guided, even when you couldn't see it. The person God's sending is a signpost, pointing you toward the next stretch of the path. They're not the destination, they're the marker that says, keep going. The promise is closer than you think. Think of the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. They didn't see the path until the waters parted. Moses didn't make the sea split. God did. The person coming into your life is like that moment, the waters parting, the way opening. They're carrying the wealth, the opportunity, the clarity you need to cross into the next chapter. Your job is to keep walking, to trust the path even when it feels impossible. You've been carrying dreams that feel too big, too heavy, too far out of reach. But those dreams aren't yours alone, they're God's. He planted them in you, and He's sending someone to help you carry them. This person might offer a resource, a connection, or simply a belief in you that makes those dreams feel possible. They're not here to take over. They're here to walk alongside you, to help you bring what's in your heart to life. Your heart might be racing, wondering who this person is. A colleague, a stranger, someone you already know? Don't try to figure it out. God's ways are higher than ours. He might send someone unexpected, a face you'd never guess, a voice you didn't expect to hear. Your job isn't to predict, it's to prepare. Keep your spirit open, your faith strong, your eyes fixed on Him. The person He's sending will find you. Let's talk about the weight of this moment. Receiving wealth, whether it's money, wisdom, or purpose, comes with responsibility. The person God's sending isn't just handing you a gift, they're handing you a mission. This wealth is a tool to build, to heal, to lift others up. It's not about stacking riches for yourself. It's about stacking impact for God's kingdom. Look at Zacchaeus in the Bible. A tax collector, despised, wealthy but empty. Then Jesus called him down from the tree, and everything changed. Zacchaeus didn't just receive a visit, he received a purpose. He gave half his wealth to the poor, repaid those he'd cheated. The person God's sending you is your tree moment, a call to climb down from isolation, from lack, and step into generosity, into purpose. You might feel the pressure to get this right, to not mess it up. But God's not looking for perfection, He's looking for willingness. The person He's sending isn't expecting you to have all the answers. They're expecting you to say yes to the opportunity. Trust that God's already equipped you for what's coming. Your faith, your resilience, your heart, they're enough. Now, let's talk about the shift in your perspective. The wealth coming through this person isn't just about changing your circumstances. It's about changing how you see yourself. You're not the person who scrapes by, who doubts their worth, who wonders if they're enough. You're the chosen one, handpicked by God to carry his promise. This person's arrival is a mirror reflecting the truth of who you are. Think of Mary, the mother of Jesus, a young girl, ordinary by the world's standards, yet chosen for the greatest purpose. The angel didn't come with wealth or power. He came with a word that changed her life. The person God's sending you is like that angel, carrying a message that shifts how you see yourself. Their gift, whether it's money, opportunity, or encouragement, is a reminder that you're chosen for greatness. You might be carrying wounds from the past, rejections, failures, moments when you felt unseen. But those wounds don't define you. They refine you. The person God's sending isn't here to fix you. They're here to remind you that you're already whole. The wealth they bring is a confirmation that God sees your scars and calls them beautiful, that he's turning your pain into purpose. Let's shift to the rhythm of this moment. Life has a pulse, a beat that God sets. Right now, you're in sync with it. Every prayer, every act of faith, every moment you chose to trust, it's aligned you with his rhythm. The person he's sending is stepping into that beat, moving with the same divine timing. Their arrival isn't random, it's part of the song God's writing in your life. Imagine a dancer, moving perfectly with the music. That's you right now. The world might feel chaotic, but you're in step with God's plan. The person coming is part of the choreography, bringing the wealth that keeps the dance going. They might offer a resource that fuels your next move, a word that sets your heart in motion, or a connection that opens a new stage. Trust the rhythm. Keep dancing. You might be tempted to rush, to try to make this happen faster, but God's timing isn't yours to control. The person he's sending is moving at his pace, not yours. Your job is to stay in step, to keep your faith steady, to trust the beat. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." Your waiting isn't wasted, it's worship. Your life is a story, and this moment is a turning point. The person God's sending is a character in this chapter, bringing the wealth that moves the plot forward. They're not the hero you are, with God as the author. Their role is to carry what you need to keep writing the story. A story of faith, triumph, and abundance that will inspire others long after you're gone. Let's talk about the strength you're carrying. You've been through battles, some seen, some hidden. Each one has forged you, made you tougher, wiser, more resilient. The person God's sending isn't here to save you from those battles. They're here to show you how strong you've become. The wealth they bring, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, is a tool to wield that strength, to build something that stands the test of time. Think of Deborah in the Bible, a judge, a prophetess, a warrior. She didn't wait for someone to hand her power. She stood in the strength God gave her. The person he's sending you is like Barak, the general who fought beside her not to lead her, but to support her calling. Their gift is the sword in your hand, the resource that lets you fight the battles God's called you to win. You might feel like the battles have worn you down, left you tired. But God sees a warrior. The person he's sending is proof of that. They're not coming because you're weak. They're coming because you're ready. The wealth they bring is your armor, your weapon, your victory cry. Step into it, wield it. Show the world what a chosen one can do. Now, let's talk about the light you carry. It's not just a spark, it's a torch, blazing through the darkness. The person God's sending is drawn to that light. They see it, even if you don't. Their arrival isn't just about what they bring, it's about what they see in you. a radiance, a purpose, a calling that can't be ignored. The wealth they carry is fuel for that light, helping it shine brighter, reach farther. You've been a light in dark places before. Maybe you've encouraged someone when you were hurting. Maybe you've given when you had little. That's not weakness, that's power. The person God's sending is coming to amplify that power, to give you the resources to shine even brighter. They're not here to change you. They're here to help you become more of who you already are. Your light isn't just for you, it's for the world. The wealth coming through this person is a lens, focusing your light so others can see it clearly. Maybe it's money to start a ministry, wisdom to lead a team, or a connection to reach a community. Whatever it is, it's God's way of saying, your light matters, let it shine. Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." That's your call. You might be wondering how this will all unfold. Will it be fast, slow, obvious, hidden? The truth is, God's plans are like a sunrise, gradual, then sudden, then breathtaking. The person He's sending is part of that sunrise, bringing the first rays of light to your new day. Trust the process. Stay open. The wealth they bring is the dawn of something beautiful. Your life is a garden, and God's the gardener. Every trial has been a pruning, every prayer a seed, every act of faith a watering. The person He's sending is the harvest moment, the fruit of all you've sown. They're not the whole garden, but they're the bounty that shows what God's been growing. Take hold of it, steward it, share it. Your garden is about to bloom like never before. Let's talk about the space you're holding right now. You're standing in a moment of expectation, a sacred pause where heaven is aligning with earth. The person God's sending, the one carrying your wealth, is stepping into this space, not by accident, but by divine orchestration. They're not just bringing resources, they're bringing a confirmation that your waiting, your hoping, your trusting has been seen. This space you've carved out with your faith is about to be filled with God's promise. You've been holding this ground through storms, moments when doubt tried to creep in, when the world told you to give up, but you didn't. That resilience, that refusal to let go, has turned this moment into a meeting point for miracles. The person God's sending is walking toward you, drawn by the strength of your stand. Their gift, whether it's money, wisdom, or a door to opportunity, is the fruit of your unwavering belief. Imagine a traveler in the desert, parched and weary, who finds an oasis just when they need it most. That's what this person is for you, an oasis in the dry places of your life. They're carrying the water of provision, the shade of hope, the rest of God's promise. You didn't stumble upon this moment. God led you here. The wealth they bring is the refreshment you've been praying for, ready to revive your spirit and your purpose. Your heart might be asking, am I ready for this? The answer is yes. Every trial you've faced, every prayer you've spoken, every step you've taken in faith, it's been preparation. The person God's sending isn't looking for someone perfect. They're looking for someone prepared. Your life, with all its highs and lows, has been training you to carry this wealth, to use it for His glory. Let's shift to the sound of your calling. Deep inside, you've heard it a whisper, a song, a pull towards something greater. It's the voice of your purpose, the reason you're here. The person God's sending is coming to amplify that sound, to turn the whisper into a shout. Their gift isn't just about meeting your needs. It's about giving you the tools to answer the call God's placed on your life. Think of Samuel in the Bible, a boy who heard God's voice in the night. Eli, his mentor, didn't give him the calling. He helped him recognize it. The person God's sending is your Eli. someone who sees the call in you, who brings the resources to help you step into it. Maybe it's funding for a dream, a connection to a new path, or a word that clarifies your purpose. Whatever it is, it's God's way of saying, "Speak, I'm listening." You might be wondering if you're hearing the right voice, if this calling is real. But you know it is. That tug in your spirit, that dream that won't let go, it's God. The person He's sending is confirmation, carrying the wealth that makes your calling possible. Don't doubt the sound, don't silence it. The world needs your voice, and this person is here to help it be heard. Your life is a riverbed, carved by years of faith and perseverance. Sometimes it's felt dry, empty, waiting for the flow. The person God's sending is the rain, bringing the wealth that fills the riverbed to overflowing. This isn't just about money, it's about purpose, connection, impact. Their arrival is the moment the river runs again, carrying life to every part of your world. Let's talk about the courage it takes to embrace this. When this person arrives, it might feel like standing at the edge of a cliff, exciting but daunting. The wealth they bring, whether it's an opportunity, a resource, or a new perspective, will ask you to leap, not into fear, but into faith. God's not sending them to push you off. He's sending them to show you that you can fly. Think of Joshua at Jericho. The walls were impossible, the task overwhelming, but God sent a strategy, not through an army, but through a command to march and shout. The person God's sending you is like that strategy, a way forward that seems unlikely, but is divinely perfect. Their gift is the signal to march, to trust, to believe that the walls in your life are coming down. You might carry scars from past leaps that didn't land right, risks that failed, dreams that fell apart. But those scars aren't failures, they're medals of faith. The person God's sending isn't here to reopen old wounds. They're here to show you that your courage has always been enough. The wealth they bring is the wind beneath your wings, lifting you to places you've only dreamed of. Your story is a mosaic, pieced together from every moment you chose to trust God. The person He's sending is adding a new piece, bright, bold, essential. It might be a financial breakthrough, a key connection, or a spark of inspiration. Whatever it is, it fits perfectly into the picture God's creating. You're not just receiving wealth, you're becoming a work of art, a testimony to His faithfulness. Let's shift to the harvest you're about to reap. You've been planting seeds, prayers, acts of faith, moments of kindness for years. Some sprouted, some seemed to wither, but none were wasted. The person God's sending is the harvest season, bringing the wealth that proves every seed mattered. This isn't just about getting, it's about seeing the fruit of your faithfulness. Look at Job. He lost everything, family, wealth, health. Yet God restored him, not just with what he had, but with double. The person coming into your life is part of your restoration, carrying the wealth that doubles what you've lost. It might be money, peace, or purpose, but it's more than you expect. Your job is to receive it, to trust that God's math always multiplies. You might feel like your seeds haven't grown, like your prayers haven't been answered, but God's been working in the soil of your life, turning your faithfulness into fruit. The person He's sending is proof that your waiting wasn't in vain, that your faith wasn't wasted. Their gift is the harvest, the moment you see what God's been growing all along. Now, let's talk about the doors this person will open. Life can feel like a hallway of locked doors, opportunities you couldn't reach, dreams you couldn't touch. The person God's sending is holding the key. Their wealth, whether it's a resource, an idea, or a connection, unlocks a door that you thought was sealed. They're not here to push you through. They're here to show you the way. Think of Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch in Acts 8. Philip didn't have wealth or power. He had a word, a moment, a divine appointment. That encounter changed the eunuch's life, sending him home with new faith. The person God's sending you is your Philip, bringing the key to a door that leads to your next season. Trust them. Trust God. The door is opening. You might be afraid of what's on the other side: change, responsibility, the unknown. But fear doesn't get the last word. Faith does. The person God's sending isn't here to overwhelm you. They're here to empower you. The wealth they bring is the courage to walk through the door, the strength to step into what's next. You're not just unlocking a door, you're unlocking your destiny. Your life is a bridge, connecting where you've been to where you're going. The person God's sending is the next plank, the piece that makes the crossing possible. Their gift, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, strengthens the bridge, helping you move from lack to abundance, from waiting to walking. You're not just crossing over, you're leading others across with you. Let's talk about the vision this moment births. The wealth coming through this person isn't just about today, it's about tomorrow. It's about seeing beyond your current circumstances to the life God's calling you to. This person might bring a resource that funds a dream, a word that sparks a vision, or a connection that opens a new horizon. They're not just bringing wealth, they're bringing sight. Think of Paul, struck blind on the road to Damascus. Ananias, a man he didn't know, came with a word and a touch that restored his sight, not just physically, but spiritually. The person God's sending is your Ananias, carrying the wealth that opens your eyes to what's possible. Their gift is the lens through which you see God's plan clearly, maybe for the first time. You might feel like your vision's been clouded by doubt, by pain, by years of waiting. But the person God's sending is clearing the fog. Their arrival is a reminder that God's been painting a picture all along, and you're about to see it in full color. The wealth they bring is the light that makes it clear. The moment your dreams come into focus, your life is a flame, and God's the one who lit it. Every trial has been fuel, every prayer a breath to keep it burning. The person he's sending is the wind that makes it roar. Their gift, whether it's money, encouragement, or opportunity, is the gust that turns your flame into a wildfire, spreading light and warmth to everyone around you. You're not just receiving wealth, you're becoming a force. Let's talk about the mantle you're carrying. It's not just a calling, it's a weight, a sacred responsibility woven into your spirit by God Himself. The person He's sending, the one bringing your wealth, isn't just delivering resources. They're placing a mantle on your shoulders, a divine assignment to step into the fullness of who you were created to be. This wealth is more than money or opportunity. It's the authority to walk in God's purpose with unshakable confidence. You've felt this mantle before, maybe in moments when you stood taller than you thought possible, spoke bolder than you expected, or believed when everything said give up. That's God preparing you. The person coming is His messenger, carrying the wealth that equips you to wear this mantle fully. They might bring a financial breakthrough, a key connection, or a spark of vision. But whatever it is, it's meant to empower you to lead, to build, to shine. Imagine a king receiving his crown. The moment it's placed on his head, he's no longer just a man, he's a ruler. That's what's happening now. The person God's sending is crowning you, not with gold, but with purpose. Their gift is the moment you step into your authority, where the world sees you as God does, a chosen one, destined to reign in your calling. Your job is to wear it, to walk in it, to trust it. You might feel the weight of this mantle, wondering if you're strong enough to carry it. But God doesn't give mantles to the unprepared. Every trial, every prayer, every step of faith has been building your strength. The person He's sending is proof you're ready. Their wealth is the scepter in your hand, the sign that God trusts you to rule your purpose with wisdom and grace. Let's shift to the echo of your faith. Every prayer you've spoken, every tear you've shed, every moment you chose to trust, it sent a sound into the heavens, a vibration that's calling this person to you. Their arrival isn't random, it's the answer to your echo, the response to your faith. The wealth they bring is the harmony to your song. The moment God says, "I heard you." Think of Hannah in the Bible, praying for a child year after year. Her cries reached God, and He sent Samuel, not just a son, but a prophet who changed a nation. The person God's sending you is your Samuel moment, carrying the wealth that answers your deepest prayers. It might be money to fund a dream, a connection to open a door, or a word that heals a wound. Whatever it is, it's God's response to your faith. You might wonder if your prayers have been loud enough, if God's really listening. But every whisper, every silent hope, every moment you trusted Him, it's all been heard. The person coming is proof. Their gift is the echo returning, louder and clearer than you imagined. Don't doubt the sound. It's real, and it's calling in the wealth God's promised. Your life is a tapestry of moments, each one a thread in God's design. The person He's sending is weaving in a new color, bold, vibrant, essential. Their gift isn't just a resource, it's a pattern shift, turning your story into something the world can't ignore. You're not just receiving wealth, you're becoming a masterpiece, a testimony to God's faithfulness that will inspire others. Let's talk about the current pulling you forward. Life can feel like a river, sometimes calm, sometimes wild, but always moving. Right now, you're caught in a divine current, one that's carrying you toward the person God's chosen. Their wealth, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, is the wave that lifts you higher, pushing you toward the shore of your purpose. Think of Noah, building the ark while the world mocked. God sent the flood, not to destroy him, but to carry him to safety. The person coming is your flood, not of destruction, but of provision. Their gift is the current that moves you from where you are to where you're meant to be. Trust the flow. Don't fight it. God's guiding the river, and you're right where you need to be. You might feel like you're drifting, unsure of the destination, but God doesn't let His chosen float aimlessly. The person He's sending is a marker in the current, a sign you're on the right path. Their arrival isn't the end of the journey. It's the moment the river picks up speed, carrying you toward abundance, purpose, and impact. Your heart is a compass, and it's been pointing to this moment. Every choice to trust, every step in faith, every prayer in the dark, it's been guiding you here. The person God's sending is following that same compass, drawn to you by the magnetic pull of your faith. Their wealth is the needle pointing north, showing you the way to your next season. Let's shift to the altar you've built, not one of stone or wood, but of sacrifice moments when you gave up comfort, pride, or fear to trust God. Every time you chose faith over doubt, you laid a stone on that altar. The person He's sending is coming to light it, to turn your sacrifices into a flame of blessing. Their gift is the spark that sets your altar ablaze, showing the world what God can do. Think of Elijah on Mount Carmel. He built an altar, soaked it in water, and waited for God's fire. The person God's sending is your fire moment, bringing the wealth that proves God's power. It might be a financial breakthrough, a new connection, or a vision that changes everything. Whatever it is, It's God saying, your sacrifices weren't in vain. You might feel like your altar's been cold, like your offerings haven't been seen. But God never misses a sacrifice. The person coming is proof. Proof that every moment you trusted, every time you gave when you had little, every prayer you prayed, it all mattered. Their gift is the flame. The moment your faith catches fire and lights up the world, your life is a seed planted in the soil of God's promise. Every trial has been water, every prayer sunlight, every act of faith a nutrient. The person he's sending is the harvest, bringing the wealth that shows what's been growing. Their gift isn't just resources, it's the fruit of your faithfulness, the proof that God's been working even when you couldn't see it. Let's talk about the armor you wear, not physical, but spiritual, forged in battles of doubt, fear, and lack. The person God's sending isn't here to fight your battles, they're here to strengthen your armor. Their wealth, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, is the polish that makes it shine, the reinforcement that makes it unbreakable. You're not just receiving a gift, you're becoming a warrior. Think of David facing Goliath. He didn't need Saul's armor, he had God's. The person coming is like the stones David carried, simple, but divinely chosen. Their gift is the weapon you need for the giant in front of you. Whether it's financial struggle, fear, or a dream that feels too big, trust it, sling it. God's already aimed it. You might feel like your armor's dented, like the battles have left you worn. But God sees a warrior, battle-tested and ready. The person he's sending isn't here to pity you. They're here to empower you. Their wealth is the strength to stand taller, fight harder, and win bigger. You're not just surviving, you're conquering. Your story is a lighthouse, built on the cliffs of faith. Every storm you've weathered has made it stronger, brighter, more unmissable. The person God's sending is drawn to that light, carrying the wealth that keeps it burning. Their gift, whether it's a resource, a connection, or a word, fuels the beacon, guiding others to safety through your testimony. Let's shift to the rhythm of your soul. There's a beat inside you, set by God, pulsing with purpose. The person he's sending is stepping into that rhythm, moving with the same divine tempo. Their wealth is the harmony to your melody, the note that makes the song complete. You're not just receiving a gift, you're singing a song the world needs to hear. Think of Miriam leading the Israelites in song after the Red Sea parted. Her voice wasn't just celebration, it was worship, a declaration of God's power. The person coming is your Miriam moment, bringing the wealth that turns your faith into a song. It might be money to fund a dream, a connection to amplify your voice, or a spark to inspire your worship. Whatever it is, it's God's way of saying, sing louder. You might feel like your song's been quiet, like the world hasn't heard it. But God's been listening, and he's been tuning it. The person he's sending is here to amplify it, to make it echo across lives, communities, generations. Their gift is the microphone, the moment your soul's rhythm reaches the world. Don't hold back, sing it. The heavens are listening, your life is a canvas, and God's the artist. Every brushstroke, every pain, every joy, every prayer has been shaping a masterpiece. The person he's sending is adding a new color, one that makes the picture pop. Their wealth isn't just a resource, it's a hue that brings out the beauty of what God's been painting. You're not just receiving a gift, you're becoming a work of art. Let's talk about the tide turning in your favor. Life can feel like swimming against the current, pushing through resistance at every turn. But right now, the tide is shifting. The person God's sending is the wave that carries you forward, bringing the wealth that makes the swim effortless. Their gift is the momentum you need to reach the shore of your purpose. Think of Peter walking on water. The storm raged, but Jesus called him out. The person coming is your Jesus moment. Not to calm the storm, but to give you the strength to walk through it. Their wealth, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, is the hand reaching out, saying, "Come, step out, trust." The water won't sink you. You might feel like the waves are too strong, like you're not ready for the tide. But God's been training you to swim, to walk, to trust. The person He's sending is proof you're ready. Their gift is the current that carries you, the moment the tide turns and everything aligns. Don't fight it, ride it. God's got you. Let's talk about the roots you've grown. Deep beneath the surface of your life, your faith has been anchoring you, spreading through the soil of trials and trust. The person God's sending, the one carrying your wealth, isn't just bringing resources, they're watering those roots, nourishing the foundation you've built. Their gift is the sustenance that makes your growth unstoppable, turning your quiet strength into a towering tree of purpose. You've been planting these roots for years through prayers whispered in the dark, through moments you chose hope over despair. Every time you stood firm, you sank deeper into God's promise. The person coming is drawn to that strength, to the roots you've grown in faith. Their wealth, whether it's money, a connection, or a spark of vision, is the rain that makes your branches reach higher, your leaves spread wider. Imagine an oak standing strong against the wind. Its roots aren't seen, but they hold it steady. That's you right now. The world sees your strength, but God sees the roots, your faith, your resilience, your trust. The person He's sending is here to nourish those roots, to bring the wealth that makes you flourish. Their gift is the water that turns your quiet growth into a legacy that shades generations. You might feel like your roots aren't deep enough, like you're not ready for this season of growth, but God's been tending you all along. Every trial has driven your roots deeper. Every prayer has made them stronger. The person He's sending is proof you're ready to bloom. Their gift is the moment your roots bear fruit, showing the world what faith can grow. Let's shift to the wind of change blowing through your life. It's not a storm, but a gentle breeze, carrying the scent of something new. The person God's sending is riding that wind, bringing the wealth that shifts your season. Their gift, whether it's a resource, an opportunity, or a word, moves with the breeze, stirring your spirit, pushing you toward a horizon you've only glimpsed. Think of the disciples in Acts 2, waiting in the upper room. A sound like a mighty wind came, and the Holy Spirit filled them. The person coming is your wind moment, not to shake you, but to fill you. Their wealth is the breath of God, igniting your purpose, empowering you to speak, to act, to move. Trust the wind. It's carrying you exactly where you need to go. You might feel like the breeze is too subtle, like you're waiting for a storm to prove God's moving. But His changes often come quietly, steadily, perfectly. The person He's sending is part of that quiet shift, bringing the wealth that makes the change undeniable. Their gift is the moment the breeze becomes a gust, lifting you into your next season. Your life is a flame, kindled by God's hand. Every trial has been tinder, every prayer a spark. The person He's sending is the oxygen, making that flame burn brighter, hotter, more unquenchable. Their wealth isn't just a resource, it's the fuel that turns your light into a beacon, drawing others to the warmth of your faith. Let's talk about the blueprint God's drawn for you. Your life isn't random, it's a design. Every moment, a line in His plan. The person He's sending is carrying a piece of that blueprint, a fragment that makes the whole picture clearer. Their gift, whether it's money, wisdom, or a connection, fits perfectly into the design. showing you the next step in God's architecture. Think of Nehemiah rebuilding Jerusalem's walls. He didn't have all the materials at first, but God sent provision people, resources, favor. The person coming is your provision, bringing the wealth that builds your walls, your dreams, your purpose. They're not the whole plan, but they're the piece that makes it real. Trust the blueprint. God's been drawing it since before you were born. You might feel like the plan's unclear, like you're staring at a puzzle with missing pieces. But God sees the whole picture. The person He's sending is holding a piece you need, a fragment of wealth that fits perfectly. Their gift is the moment the blueprint comes into focus, showing you the beauty of what God's building. Don't doubt the design. It's His, and it's perfect. Your heart is a compass, always pointing to God's promise. Every prayer, every act of faith, every moment you trusted, it's kept you aligned. The person He's sending is following that same compass, drawn to you by the pull of your faith. Their wealth is the needle swinging true, guiding you both to the place where God's plan unfolds. Let's shift to the mirror of your soul. You've carried dreams, doubts, hopes, and fears, but God sees the truth of who you are. The person He's sending is holding a mirror, reflecting back the chosen one you were created to be. Their gift, whether it's a resource, an opportunity, or a word, shows you your reflection, not as the world sees you, but as God does. Think of Moses at the burning bush. He saw himself as a nobody, a fugitive. But God sent a sign, a bush that burned but didn't burn out. The person coming is your burning bush, bringing the wealth that reveals your true identity. Their gift is the moment you see yourself as God's chosen, called to lead, to build, to shine. Look in the mirror. The reflection is glorious. You might feel like your reflection is flawed, marked by mistakes or pain. But God sees a masterpiece. The person He's sending isn't here to judge you. They're here to show you the truth. Their wealth is the light that makes your reflection clear. The moment you see the strength, the beauty, the purpose God's placed in you, don't turn away. Embrace it. Your life is a river flowing toward God's promise. Sometimes it's been a trickle, sometimes a flood, but it's always moved forward. The person He's sending is a tributary, joining your river with their own, bringing the wealth that swells the current. Their gift isn't just a resource. It's the momentum that carries you to new depths, new places, new impact. Let's talk about the keys you're about to receive. Life can feel like a locked door, opportunities just out of reach. The person God's sending is holding a key, not to every door, but to the one that matters now. Their wealth, whether it's money, a connection, or a spark of inspiration, unlocks the next step in your journey, opening a path you couldn't force open on your own. Think of Peter in prison, bound by chains. An angel came, not with a sword, but with a touch that set him free. The person coming is your angel, bringing the wealth that breaks your chains. Their gift is the key to freedom, not just from lack, but from fear, doubt, anything holding you back. Trust the key. It fits the lock God's prepared. You might feel like you've tried every key, knocked on every door, and found nothing but walls. But God's been saving this key for the right moment. The person He's sending is proof the door is ready to open. Their wealth is the turn of the lock. The moment the path clears, don't hesitate. Step through. The way is yours. Your story is a flame, and God's the keeper. Every trial has been fuel, every prayer a breath to keep it burning. The person He's sending is the wind that makes it roar, bringing the wealth that turns your light into a wildfire. Their gift isn't just resources, it's the spark that sets your purpose ablaze, lighting up the world with your faith. Let's shift to the garden of your heart. You've been planting seeds of faith, hope, love through every season of your life. Some grew, some seemed to wither. The person God's sending is the harvest, bringing the wealth that shows every seed mattered. Their gift, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, is the fruit of your faithfulness. The moment your garden blooms, think of Ruth in Boaz's field. She didn't plant the grain, but her faithfulness led her to the harvest. The person coming is your Boaz, bringing the wealth that rewards your loyalty. Their gift is the moment your garden yields more than you sowed, proving God's promise to multiply what you give him. Trust the harvest. It's here. You might feel like your garden's been barren, like your efforts haven't borne fruit. But God's been working in the soil, turning your seeds into something beautiful. The person he's sending is proof that every prayer, every sacrifice, every moment of faith was worth it. Their wealth is the bloom, the moment your heart's garden bursts into color. Your life is a symphony, and God's the conductor. Every note, every joy, every pain, every prayer has been part of his composition. The person he's sending is the crescendo, bringing the wealth that makes the music soar. Their gift isn't just a note, it's the harmony that ties the melody together, the moment the world hears God's song in you. Let's talk about the armor of your spirit, forged in battles, polished by faith. It's stronger than you know. The person God's sending isn't here to fight for you. They're here to strengthen what you already carry. Their wealth, whether it's a resource, a connection, or a word, is the final piece, making your armor shine, ready for the battles ahead. Think of Esther before the king. She didn't have an army, but she had God's favor. The person coming is your favor moment, bringing the wealth that prepares you to stand before kings. Their gift is the strength to walk boldly, to face giants, to claim your place. You're not just armored, you're anointed. You might feel like your armor's dented, like the battles have left you scarred, but God sees a warrior ready for victory. The person he's sending isn't here to pity you, they're here to arm you. Their wealth is the polish, the moment your spirit shines brighter than ever. Wear it, fight with it, win with it. Your journey is a map drawn by God's hand. Every step, every detour, every moment of faith has led you here. The person he's sending is a guidepost, pointing to the next leg of the journey. Their wealth, whether it's money, wisdom, or opportunity, is the compass that keeps you on course,